Mike Phillips with Autogeek, and I have with me Jeff McEachran from GYEON. And Jeff, we're going to talk about how to coat a windshield on a car today.
Yes, sir. And we're going to do that with GYEON Q2 View. So to start out, just like your paint, you can have bonded contaminants on your glass as well. So we'll do our baggie test just to see what we're dealing with. And I do feel some roughness. So anytime you're doing a long-term protective product, you really want to prep that surface well. You're talking about products that last for years, so the deeper you go into that prep process, the better performance you're going to get out of the product, the easier it's going to be to install. So all around, you want to go into prep. So we're going to go ahead and clay this glass before we do our GYEON View with our GYEON clay. So again, light lubrication of the clay bar and the glass itself. I'm just going to run this clay bar across the glass, letting it pick up any above surface bonded contaminants.
Yeah, this will have a tendency to take off any road film too. And because we're going to be putting a coating on here, it's important that that glass is perfectly clean so the coating can properly bond.
Absolutely.
And just like the glass is exposed like the paint, anything in the air that lands, if it's not removed immediately, it does have a tendency to actually bond, and that's why it's important to use something like the clay to get that off. Just for fun, won't you just hit that with the baggie test and make sure everything's off there?
Let's see what we got. Much better.
Okay, so that's the proper process. Get that glass clean. Now, I'm a huge fan of coatings. I use them on all my windshields because it rains here in Florida a lot, and I'm actually from Oregon. Oregon it rains a lot, but here in Florida, when it rains, it's instead of rain, it's just like it comes down just
a deluge every day.
It was funny is you'll see people actually pull off to the side of the road because there's just so much rain they want to get in an accident.
Yep.
And that typically never happened in Oregon, but it's a common occurrence here in Florida. So I mean, it really rains. So a coating in any kind of environment where it rains a lot, it's really going to help you for the safety side.
Absolutely. That's exactly what this product's for. High visibility in harsh rain conditions, snow. It's just going to allow the water to bead and evacuate that windshield surface as easily as possible.
So what's the next step then, Jeff?
So we've clay barred the glass. Next step, we go on to our View. So in the View kit, you've got two products, Cleanse and Repel. First step is going to be Cleanse. We take our large application block, and what this product's going to do, it's going to clean and prep the glass, but more importantly, it acts as a bonding agent for the Repel product to follow. So I'll do a few drops on our applicator here.
Now, is that just like a felt surface on sponge?
It is. So you've got a very similar sponge block to the coating applicators with just a little more cushion and felt in here. So I like to do real tight circles, a little more product than that. And you'll see that start to disappear as you work it. You just want to get that product in the glass, back and forth, and really work that in until it's just about gone. Obviously, if you can do this in the shade, in the garage, in as much of a temperature-controlled environment as possible, the better, so that you don't get any streaking or the product doesn't want to lock up on you.
Yeah, and of course, when you're doing your windshield at home, you'd want to do the entire windshield.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll do a small section today. After cleanse, I like to get a bald wipe towel, wet in the sink, wring it out just so it's not dripping. You go over cleanse, that's going to help you pick up the leftover product before you go to Repel, which is your final stage coating.
Okay, so this is just to get the residue off?
Yep, just going to pick up the residue from cleanse with that.
Now, could a person, if they wanted to, do the glass, then wash the car, say if they're going to wash the car anyway, and then put the View on, the coating on?
Sure. Okay. Whatever's easier in the process. Everybody's got their favorite way to do it.
Yeah, this is a garage-kept car, so it isn't dirty anyways, but I'm just thinking the average person with a daily driver.
Get the heavy gunk off and then go into the fine refinement stages.
Okay.
So we've got cleanse on, we've got cleanse off. We're ready to go for Repel.
Now this is where the magic takes place.
Yes, this is the coating itself. So GYEON applicator block and our suede.
Okay, that's a microfiber suede cloth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's just to spread the coating out.
Absolutely. So I fold that over the block, grab our Repel. Now this is a fluorine-based product, so it's going to evaporate out very, very quickly. You're not going to see a thick layer go on like you would installing Mohs or a paint coating, but you'll feel the slickness. So as long as product's on the applicator, you know you're transferring it onto the glass.
Okay.
So I like to go a fair amount of product.
Especially when you're first starting out because the cloth is dry naturally.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's going to absorb. So we're going on. I like to do a cross-hatched pattern just to ensure coverage. And it's as simple as that.
And what this is going to do then is it's actually going to bond to the glass, become almost like a functional part of the glass.
Absolutely. The cleanse set up that base layer, and then the repel is going to go on there, and the repel product is what is going to create that super hydrophobic effect and allow that crazy water beading to occur. So I go over with just a dry polish wipe at the end just to pick up any residue.
Now, how long? Now, that was only a few seconds. That's
Sure.
as long as you need to wait?
That's it. Very
Okay.
quick. Yep. On and off. That product's going to interact with cleanse very quickly and do its thing. So we're ready to rock. I like to break up the windshield in sections.
Okay.
If you spread cleanse out too far, it can streak and dry on you. So typically a 1x1, no larger than a 2x2 area. Maybe 4 pads on the windshield.
Sure, divide a windshield into 4 quadrants.
That's
you got
the easiest
1,
way to
2,
do it.
3, 4. Okay.
Yep.
Overlap a little bit when you do each
Absolutely,
section.
absolutely.
And then what this is going to do now, of course, is it's going to create a hydrophobic surface. And after, say, about 30 miles an hour, the water just going to start flying off.
Just going to fly off. The
And
game.
if you do use your wipers,
Yeah.
one wipe, that windshield's
Gone.
clear.
Yep, and I'm glad you brought up wipers because it's very important when you're doing the repel stage. You want to get a little product back on your microfiber suede and actually apply it to the blade of the
Really?
windshield. Yep,
Okay.
that'll keep it from jumping around on the windshield surface. So I go back, kind of fold up my microfiber, my suede applicator in squares, and I'll just pick up one and just work it across that windshield wiper blade so we've got
Just treating
some
it.
coverage. Yep, just treating it, and that'll allow it to glide freely over that windshield surface.
So, a lot of people think the paint is the most important part of the
Sure,
car, and I know
sure.
a lot of guys spend a lot of time perfecting the paint, and we're going to do some of that today too.
Sure.
But actually, for safety reasons, the most important part of a car is the windshield.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you look through.
Absolutely.
And it's important to be able to see where you're going. Daytime, nighttime, in the snow, in the rain, in the sleet, everything.
It's a good thing to bring up, kind of the functionality of coatings. Everybody really focuses on paint and gloss and the shine,
Yeah.
but there is a functional sense to long-term protection, with your wheels, with your tires, everything has a
Okay,
functional
well, you
aspect.
can get all these GYEON products at Autogeek.com.
Thank you, Mike.
We'll tell you what, let's hand that to me and let's all
Yep,
do this
let's keep
side.
rolling.